Dictionaries are another complex data type in Python, and you'll find reason to use dictionaries very, very often. Dictionaries are extremely useful to store records. We spoke of tuples as storing records. Dictionaries are even better, which is why tuples are less often used as compared with dictionaries. Dictionaries hold key value pairs. Dictionaries can hold any kind of information. You can have primitive data types as values, you can have complex data types as values. Every value is associated with a corresponding key, and every value can be looked up using that key. If this does not make much sense to you, do not worry. That's exactly what we're going to study in this lecture. Let's first instantiate an empty dictionary. An empty dictionary can be instantiated using curly braces. Python uses square brackets for lists, the round brackets for tuples, and the curly braces for dictionaries. However, an empty dictionary is useless. You probably want a dictionary which holds some key value pairs. Here is a dictionary of couples. John is married to Jill, Rick to Nina, Jane to George, and Natasha to Fred. There are many little details to observe here. Notice that all the key value pairs in the dictionary are within the curly braces. The second thing to notice is that every key is separated from its value by a colon. Here, John, Rick, Jane, and Natasha are all keys. They are on the left side of the colon. Jill, Nina, George, and Fred are all values. They are on the right side of the colon. Each of these couples is a key value pair. John and Jill are a key value pair, Rick and Nina are a key value pair, and so on. Dictionaries are very different from lists and tuples in one specific way, in the fact that dictionaries are not ordered complex data types. Keys and values do not have a specific position in the dictionary. Dictionaries are an unordered complex data type. You'll find that we never use index positions to access key value pairs within a dictionary. And when we print out a dictionary, we can expect that its keys and values are in any order. The values associated with a particular key in a dictionary can be looked up using the square brackets. Here, within the couples dictionary, we want to find the value for the key John. Specify the key within square brackets, and this will give you the corresponding value. This operation is called looking up a value using the corresponding key. We can look up the value corresponding to the key Jane. This is the other half of the Jane couple. This should give you George. Now, if you try to look up a key that is not present in a dictionary, then that will give you an error. So if you want to look up the Lauren key, we haven't set it up in the dictionary, we get a key error, and it clearly says the Lauren key is what is in error. You can also update the value that is associated with a particular key very easily using the assignment operator with the key in square brackets. Let's say John got remarried. He's no longer married to Jill. He's now married to Barbara. This is how you'd perform the update. Now, if you look at the couples dictionary, you'll find that other key value pairs remain the same. The John key now is, however, associated with Barbara and not with Jill. The values that a dictionary holds can be of any data type. You can have values which are numbers, strings, boolean, lists, tuples, and even other dictionaries as well. In the maths course dictionary, we want to hold the math marks for different students. The students are Ram, Kumar, Kishan, and Natasha. These are the keys, and the corresponding math scores are the values. You can access only the keys within a dictionary by calling the keys function on the dictionary. This will simply return the keys in the form of a list. If you only want to access the values but do not want to access the keys, you can do this using the values function on a dictionary. This will return all dictionary values in the form of a list. Dictionaries, though, are typically used to store records where all the information within a dictionary corresponds to a single entity. For example, if you want to hold student details and you want all details corresponding to the student Ubaid, this is how you might set up a dictionary for this. Notice that the keys in this dictionary are all strings. The values are of different data types, strings as well as a number. This is a good time for you to practice using the keys function to access all keys in this student details dictionary. The keys function returns a list, and you can pass this into the len built-in function in order to get the length of the keys. Here we have a key length of 3. Also a good time for you to practice invoking the values function on your student details dictionary. Let's say we have a number of students that we identify by their names, and every student has a list of scores for the various subjects that the student is taking in school. This we can represent using a dictionary as well. Notice the keys are strings, the values are all list objects. You can look up the value associated with the key using the square brackets as before. What will be returned will be the list associated with that key. Let's say the scores for each student is for math, physics, and chemistry. Let's say I wanted to update the physics score for the student Ram. This is how I would access it using two square brackets. The first square bracket, which contains the string Ram, will look up the value associated with the Ram, and the second square bracket is to access the particular element in the scores list for Ram. Here I'm accessing the element at index 1, which is the physics score for Ram. Now, if you check out Ram's score, you'll find that the physics score has been updated to 55. If you store a student's marks in the form of a list, that's a little hard to work with because you do not know which marks belong to which subject. If you want to do better, instead of using a list as a value, you'll use another dictionary as the value for each student. Here we have the same students, Ram, Kumar, Kishan, and Natasha, who are the keys in our first dictionary, and every value corresponding to each of these students is another dictionary by itself. So Ram has a corresponding value that's a dictionary with his scores in math, science, and English. This inner dictionary, which contains the marks in math, science, and English, can be thought of as the nested dictionary. It's nested within the outer dictionary. So if I now want to access all of Kishan's marks, I simply access the value for the Kishan key. That will give me all the marks in English, math, and science. If I want to access only Kishan's math scores, I simply use the double brackets. But this time I specify Kishan and then math. I first access the outer dictionary and then the inner dictionary. This allows us to quickly see that Kishan scored 87 in math. Now let's say I try to access Natasha's geography score. There is a problem here because we do not have the marks for geography. That's why we get a key error. Notice that the key error message clearly specifies that it is the geography key that was not found. This will help you debug your program. Though it is common practice to have the keys of your dictionaries be strings, they are much easier to work with, they're easier to read, and then it's easier to maintain your code. However, Python allows you to use any immutable value as your key, which means you can use strings, you can use numbers, you can use booleans, you can also use tuples. Here is the student details dictionary, which uses the student ID, which is an integer, as its key. The value for every key is a dictionary, and that dictionary contains the name of the student. If you want the details of student Pranay, you have to specify Pranay's ID within square brackets. The ID is now an integer, remember. And here you have Pranay's details. We learned in the last lecture that tuples are immutable. Once created, they can't be modified, which means tuples can also be dictionary keys. Here, the student ID is the dictionary key, but is present in the form of a tuple. When you now try to access the details of a particular student, make sure you specify the key within square brackets in a tuple format. Keys as they were originally specified were tuples, so when you look up things using the key, you'll use a tuple as well. This will give you Niti's details. You cannot set up a dictionary where the key data type is of type list. That's because lists are mutable. You can perform operations which adds elements to lists or removes elements from lists. Dictionaries are mutable. They cannot be keys as well, which means here in this student details, we cannot specify the student ID in a list format. If you try this, you'll find that this raises an error. The type error says it's an unhashable type. List is not a hashable type. You can think of a hash as some signature or some way to uniquely identify some bit of information. Lists are mutable, which is why they are not hashable. Let's go back to the dictionary that we'd set up earlier, which holds details for the student Ubaid: name, score, and phone number. Dictionaries offer a copy function which allows you to make a copy of the original dictionary. So we have the student details copy. Now let's change something in this dictionary copy. We'll assign a new value to the score field. The score is now 100. Notice that this will not affect the original dictionary. The copy has its own independent value of the score field. The original dictionary continues to have the score of 45. If you take a look at the copy, you'll find that the score there has been updated to 100. We assigned a value of 100 to the score key in this copy. Python offers a very simple function to clear all the keys that are present in a dictionary, the clear function. So once you've cleared the dictionary, you now get an empty dictionary. Instead of accessing the keys of a dictionary separately using the keys function and the values present in a dictionary separately using the values function, you can access them both together. Key value pairs will be returned in the form of tuples. This you can do using the items function. What you get is a list of tuples. Every tuple has two fields, one field for the key and one field for the value. Python offers an alternative get function which you can use to retrieve the value associated with a particular key. Studentdetails.get name will return the value associated with the name key. You can also get rid of certain key value pairs from within a dictionary by calling the pop function. If you do studentdetails.pop score, the resulting dictionary will no longer have the score key. If you want to get rid of a key value pair at random from within a dictionary, you can use the studentdetails.pop item function. Pop item will arbitrarily get rid of any key value pair from within this dictionary. Here it's gotten rid of the phone key. The only key value pair that remains is the name key.